Boris Johnson is desperate to move on from the row about his lockdown parties, but that effort keeps being interrupted by the leaking of new photos. And that has happened again, right in the middle of PMQs. This is the photo in question that was leaked to the Mirror. And at first, when this was published, I thought it was, relatively weak source. We already knew Boris Johnson hosted a Christmas quiz in December 2020. We already knew it was breaking the rules because he's with people outside his household for a social event. But to me, it never looked as brazen as some of the other examples. The quiz was on Zoom. It didn't look like they'd just forgotten that COVID existed. And for me, an open bottle of Prosecco doesn't change that much. However, a video has been brought to my attention that puts the image in a slightly different light. This is Nadeem Zahawi justifying the quiz, speaking last December.
I have to say to you, you just mentioned the quiz night and that picture today. What do we see in that picture? We see a prime minister on a virtual quiz night for 10 to 15 minutes to thank his staff, who, by the way, had no choice but to come in every single day. Let me just finish this point, right? Sitting in his office with the two people who are closest working with him, no alcohol on the table, not drinking, right? On a Zoom call or a Teams call, on virtual call, respecting the lockdown rules.
No alcohol on the table. Very, very awkward. Dalia, what was your reaction to that picture? Does it change things for you that there was an open bottle of Prosecco on the table?
I mean, no. I think we've heard enough now to know exactly what the situation was. And the question isn't about, was there an open bottle of Prosecco or was there, drinking at this particular event? What we know is that a significant amount of gathering, of mixing that regular people would have, and many regular people did actually end up being prosecuted for, was happening at the very top. This particular picture or, any other kinds of specific snapshots that we might have access to doesn't actually make the difference, because the actual thrust of the truth and the thing that's important, which is that the government was breaking their own rules, breaking rules that ordinary people, regular people were being punished for, and also breaking rules in a way that could have meant that people got infected with a virus and then spread that out into their communities. And we also know the contempt and the recklessness with which Boris Johnson led us throughout the pandemic, particularly in those early stages, including to, but also in addition to, his own personal breaking of those rules. So the details at this point, with the amount that we do know, are irrelevant, and sucking us into the specificities of the details, that's sort of much more in their interest, because it distracts us from the broader thrust, which is undebatable, frankly.